Hello, all-nighters. We are poolside in Miami, Florida. You've already watched the first part of our holiday video to Atlanta and Miami, and now we are giving you all the details of our holiday trip. So, first thing is, get a car while you're out here. Everywhere is far away, so you will need a car, especially if you're traveling with children. So we got a massive party bus, is all I can say.
First we got a massive party bus from the airport for a day. So we rented the party bus for one day. It was humongous, and Margaret drove it. Kudos to her. With all our luggage, all the family. Yeah, so Margaret drove it from the airport to where we were staying. And then back to the airport the next day.
So recommended. It was a 14-seater, and the reason we did that is because it can take all the children. We've got 5 children of 4 adults, and it could take all of our luggage. So that was the easiest thing to do. Driving on the other side of the road, I would recommend reading like the American highway code briefly and watch some YouTube videos on driving. Always stay on your right. You're driving on your right, and there are a few other tips that we would recommend, but definitely read the highway code. Driving a vehicle of that size can be quite difficult, but the tip that we would have is, if you're renting, have someone who is driving with you. So a co-pilot is what we're calling it. So my husband was my co-pilot, and Tolu was also Alice's co-pilot. So somebody to do double checking for you, someone to double check the sat nav. So that is our full recommendation on if you are driving in the US. Read the highway code in advance and make sure you've got a co-pilot sitting next to you.
So when we got here, it was Xavier's birthday the next day on the Saturday. So we were recommended to go to Chuck E. Cheese. We've never been to Chuck E. Cheese. We didn't understand what the concept of Chuck E. Obviously we've seen it on like American shows, but we still don't know what Chuck E. Cheese was. And basically it's arcades. So if you like your kids doing arcade games and bits like that, then Chuck E. Cheese is a really good spot to go to. Make sure that when you get there, right, one thing that is so cool and just as around safety is that they write a number. So when you arrive as a family, they write a number on everybody's arm, and you don't think anything of it.
Probably the other hand.
But when you're leaving, they use a marker to slide
You guys are good to go.
Thank you.
from the building, which I thought was amazing. So it's an incredible safety tip, because when you're in there, it is mad. I feel like, I don't want to say feral, but it's mad in there. The kids just go wild, and they're just playing all these games and stuff. So it's an incredible thing that they've got, a system that they've got in place. We bought tokens. So what you can do is you can either buy tokens or you can buy minutes in order to play on the arcade games. We weren't too sure what to do, and the guy who was behind the counter was so helpful, and he was the one who said buy tokens, don't buy minutes. And because the tokens are worth, well, we bought 30 tokens for each child, and the token is 1 token per game, so they were able to play 30 games in total, whereas if you buy minutes, they only get 30 minutes on it. So that was his recommendation to us, and we bought 30 tokens. 30 tokens sounds like a lot. It went fast. These gonna be tapping away. Kids ran through it like it was no man's business. So I would recommend getting the tokens, but just be prepared to top up on some tokens, because I ended up having to top up. I topped up 1 card and ended up just tapping for the kids, because what happens is that they're able to take their card and tap for themselves. So if you're not with your child is just and you don't know how much they've tapped, what they've used, what they've got left. So I would recommend buying the tokens and letting them enjoy and tap as they go along, but just be mindful that they might tap very quickly and get through it.
The other thing about Chuck E. Cheese is, if you take your child on their birthday, you can have Chucky himself, the cheese master, come out and dance with your child.
But that's with the birthday party.
That's with the birthday kids. But also he stands around and he does like singing and happy birthday. And it was really good. There's also a mini trampoline for the little ones, so if you want to do that.
What I'd say is, if you've got, so our kids are like, the olders are 5, 6, 7. The mini trampoline wasn't for that. As much as they say, oh, it's for their age, it's not. It's for like 4 and under. I'd probably 3 and under. There were some older kids that shouldn't have been on there, but I'd say the trampoline is for 3 and under. So if you're thinking, oh, maybe I should get the socks and pay for trampoline time, unless they're 3 and under, the one that we went to in Atlanta was so small, only the littler ones were going to really enjoy it, and the bigger ones didn't end up going on it. So I'd say buy it for the younger children if you've got younger ones.
Anything that they win, they are then allowed to go to a booth and choose what they have. So it's like when you go to any arcade, you can choose games that are, you can choose a reward that is worth like 5 tokens, 50 tokens, 10 tokens, all the way up to like 200-300 tokens. So we recommend that. And eating at Chuck E. Cheese. So you guys had pizzas, I think?
Yeah, so there's like an option of buying like a massive pizza. There's like chicken wings, there's chicken fingers, there's a variety of stuff. We ended up buying like 2 big pizzas. The kids devoured it. I didn't even see the pizzas arrived. They were just gone by the time I got there. Obviously Ezra doesn't eat cheese, so I got him some chicken wings and bits like that, and that was a really nice platter that I ended up getting for him as well. And he managed to wax it off as well. So there's something to eat. I'd say there's something for everybody. Their drinks are refillable. Make sure you refill your drinks. Yeah, I didn't feel like we rinsed it enough in terms of the refill drinks, but the drinks are refillable. People just go to the counter and just refill. So, and you do it yourself. So make sure you refill on your drinks.
One thing I would say about the US is ask for refillables wherever you go.
Yeah.
Almost every restaurant will do refillable Coke products. So refill on as many Coke products as possible. However, if you've got children and you don't want them to drink refillable Coke products, there are limited options.
Yeah.
We could never get apple juice anywhere. We could never get...
Man, what is up with apple juices?
Apple juice and orange juice.
So many. No, they had loads of orange juice, but loads of the restaurants just didn't have apple juice. What's that about?
So the thing is, if you want your child to drink, if you want them to be hydrated while you are here, take a bottle of water with you. So
Yeah.
if you want your child to be hydrated while you're here, take a bottle of water with you and refill that, because I'm not joking you, it is ultimately just refillable Coke products. It's
Yeah.
all you're going to have while you're here.
Yeah, and most places as well, in terms of if you've got a water bottle with you, most places just do free refills anyway with water bottles. So rather than, if you're conscious about plastic and buying plastic all the time, then I've carried my water bottle pretty much everywhere we've been and been able to top it up with water and stuff. So that's also an option if you don't want to just keep buying plastic water bottles and stuff. So yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese for us, I feel like it was a nice place to go because there's not one in the UK. Ultimately, it is an arcade, maybe mini bouncing party location, like birthday party location. Out of 10, I'd probably rate it a 7 for me, because I felt that it was arcade heavy and there wasn't much else to do while you were there.
Yeah, I'd probably say it's about a 6 for me, only because it's really arcadey, and there wasn't much for the younger two to do. So I'd say if your child is 6, 7, 8 upwards and they love arcade stuff, then it's for them. If you've got younger kids, there's only so much jumping on a trampoline that they're going to do, and there's a couple like mini kids with arcadey type things for babies, but you can't entertain them for that long in there. So I'd probably give it about a 6. I was overstimulated by the time we left. I was ready to get the hell out of there. So I'd probably give it a 6. The staff though, oh my gosh, they were absolutely amazing. The staff were incredible. And even at one point, Eddie's food took ages to come out. They gave me extra chicken wings. Just for the fact that I went up and just said, oh, it's not come out and I've been waiting a while, they gave me extra chicken wings. But outside of that, outside the free stuff, the staff were just lovely anyway and just gave such good advice. So yeah, big props to the staff in Chuck E. Cheese.
The place that I have loved the most has got to be Red Lobster. Oh my gosh, I was licking every single finger after I ate, and it was absolutely delicious.
But what's funny is that each time we've mentioned Red Lobster to people who live here, so like friends and family that live here, their response has always been, Red Lobster, So as us who don't have it in the UK, clearly we're gassed by it, I think.
Totally gassed by it, and that's because it is well seasoned seafood. Oh my goodness. But also the kids got good options.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, so the thing that our husbands love the most is the biscuits.
Yes,
Okay.
the cheddar biscuits.
If you're from the UK, you're going to think a cookie or an actual biscuit like bourbon biscuit or
nice.
a
Custard cream.
a custard cream or a nice biscuit. No, we're talking about, they're kind of like scones.
Not
but
kind of like, they're scones. I think a biscuit is a scone, just without the fruit.
No. It's not a scone because these are softer and lighter.
No, but when they're hard,
scones
they're
are
the
dense.
same. No, but when they're hard, they're the same, I think.
Okay,
More or
alright,
less.
okay. If you're British, it is the closest thing would be a scone to a biscuit. And they have, in the US, they have a biscuit with everything. And Red Lobster, I have to say, I think do beautiful biscuits. Delano loved the biscuits from Red Lobster.
Tolu.
Yeah, and they bought a biscuit mix, a Red Lobster biscuit mix from the supermarket.
From the Walmart. So we went to Walmart and we found the actual biscuit mix because Red Lobster clearly know that they've got something winning on their hands and now they can sell it to you. So we bought boxes for them. I feel like Delano got four
boxes.
And Tolu's got a couple. But I don't eat seafood. I don't like seafood. I'm not a fan. I went with the steak. The steak was mwah. The broccoli, mwah. The jacket potato, it was all right. It was okay. But the steak and the broccoli, oh my goodness, yummies.
So I
good.
went for the seafood, the Mariner's seafood boil, and it comes in a bag, which all like gorgeous juices in there. And then you open your bag and you pour it on your plate. Literally, it was like the most succulent, delicious meal I've had the whole time that I've been in Atlanta and Miami. That is all I can say. And the kids were able to have, I think, chicken tenders.
Yeah, they had like
things
chicken
that.
tenders.
By the way, can America ease up on the chicken tenders?
Yeah, what's that about, like, guys?
Everywhere we went, it was chicken tenders on the menu.
Chicken tenders on deck. Like, they've got, you guys have investment in chicken tenders, because what is that about, please?
Honestly, it was like, do you want some chicken tenders? No, I don't
We
want
went
any
to a
more chicken
Nigerian restaurant, and they had chicken tenders on the menu for kids. I was like, ease up on the chicken tenders, guys. It's all right.
Enough with the chicken tenders.
It's all right. I mean, it's good because Ezzy is always like the one I'm a bit, so I always have a safety of chicken tenders is our backup. But at one point, Margaret was just like, no one mentioned the word chicken tenders to me. Again, there's a lot of chicken tenders.
There are. So yeah, Red Lobster was delicious. All the dads liked it. So they had seafood boils and they had like also like surf and turf and stuff. And I'll insert some photos. But Red Lobster was delicious. This is the Red Lobster in Atlanta specifically. They did not have a card machine. They had to take your card physically from you and go in the back and then do some sort of
We don't know what they did because we don't know if it. Well, that's what we're imagining was happening in the background.
But they did not have tap. So the number one tip I'm going to give you is please bring physical cards with you, whether it be your Amex, if it is your Lloyd debit, if it is your debit card, if it is your credit card, bring a physical card because they do not tap everywhere.
Yeah. What I've been doing is I've used my Monzo everywhere.
Everywhere.
So I would say if you don't have a Monzo, or if you do have a Monzo, only use your Monzo. So I've been transferring money from my Santander, my direct debit, my debit card, into my Monzo each time, and it's amazing. You can see the conversion straight away. You're getting it at the right rate. And you're just not stressing, and you know the money's gone. Once you spend it, it's gone. You're not worried about it later. So I would say get a Monzo or a Revolt. Is it a Revolt? Revolut. That's it. That's another one that's been recommended to me. But I stuck to my Monzo because I've been able to use that everywhere. I've been able to tap it. I've been able to use it on my phone as well by tapping my phone. So I'd say if you're going to bring a physical card and you don't have American Express or whatever it is, just get a simple Monzo. It's free. Use that.
And American Express everywhere here, so I would fully recommend physically bringing your American Express but also having it on your phone. So for example, the reason why I say this is Walmart does not have a tap system. You cannot touch your card. You actually have to have a Walmart account where you then link your card to the Walmart account and then you pay that way. That's too long.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Thank you.
I'm here for 2 days.
Right.
Come on.
So the point is, bring a physical card and you can stick that card in, and then you can like pay with your Amex or whatever. And also there are lots of places that you can tap, but having your physical card just makes it so much easier.
It does.
So yeah, really enjoyed Red Lobster. Make sure you bring a physical card.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of food though, and I mentioned it before, Ike's was another one that we went to, and I don't know if we were
Ike's is an
necessarily
African.
craving.
Ike's is an African Nigerian restaurant, so it's a West African restaurant.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is I don't know if we were even craving Nigerian food. I don't know whether it was. I don't even think it was something that came on our radar as somewhere to go. And the food there was so good. So I got ogbono and some fufu, I think it was.
Plantain fufu.
Yeah, and it was one of the best I've had. In the UK, it's hit and miss sometimes. Here, thank you. They got it so right. And even with their jollof rice, they've got Ghanaian jollof rice, they've got Nigerian jollof rice. I was like, what? When you go to these restaurants in the UK, they got one. So I absolutely enjoyed it. My regret was not buying more jollof rice and more bits that I could fly out to Miami when we moved to Miami. But the food was mwah.
Can
amazing.
I just say, okay, so this is an African thing, and a lot of people who are watching this are going to say, ew. So when we went to the restaurant in Ike's, we ordered takeaway, and then we put it in the freezer from Atlanta, and then we put it in our luggage because it was frozen. So you put it in your check-in luggage, and then when we got here, because it's only like a 2-hour flight, then when we got here, we immediately put it back in the freezer because it hadn't defrosted. So we put it in like
Tupperware.
Tupperware and frozen bags basically. And when we got here, it was still fresh. So when we landed in Miami, we were still eating African food as if we were in Atlanta. It was amazing. So I'm not saying that's a tip that's going to work for everybody. In fact, it's not a tip that's going to work for everybody, because you're listening to this and going, oh my gosh, that's disgusting. But that is what we did because we knew we weren't going to get another Nigerian restaurant as good as Ike's here. And the service was wonderful. They really looked after us. They had the gorgeous plantain for the kids. Xavier and Exon ate their rice. It was wonderful. So hands up, amazing. We loved Ike's.
Yeah.
More on our US trip. Welcome back. We just took a short break. Driving, we've mentioned it briefly in regards to driving, and I have to say that renting from Enterprise, and by the way, we'll do another video on we'll do another video on Dialer Flight, the company that we use to book our flights. We'll do that in a moment. But just to mention that renting from Enterprise was easy peasy lemon squeezy, and their staff are brilliant. So we got a car from Alamo, which is part of Enterprise and Enterprise. So we got the 9-seater, 8-seater, which was good, and it was a Chevrolet. And I really liked it, driving it.
Yeah, so I drove as well when we got the next car. And
the Chevy,
when we got the Chevy, I liked driving it. I was nervous about driving in America. I've never driven here. Well, actually, I've had one experience of driving here before, and that was when I was leaving, or when I was about to leave. I was at the airport. I wasn't meant to be driving, and I was meant to be getting out of the car, but someone had taken our bags in. So then they were saying, right, you need to get in a car and drive and move the car. And I was trying to explain to them, I can't drive here. So basically, I had to move and drive all around to come back again. So that was a scary experience. But my experience this time around has been fantastic. It's been so straightforward driving here. I've really enjoyed it. I think that car was an easy car to drive as well.
The Chevrolet was an easy car.
Yeah. We'll talk about the next car that we got as well, which I thought was much easier. But yeah, in driving here has been so easy. If you're hesitant about driving, or if you're thinking about, oh, should I, shouldn't I? Like we said before at the top, get the car and just drive. Just be cautious, but drive if you want to drive.
Enterprise was brilliant. Their staff are really good. You show up to the counter. So we booked everything online in regards to our car. And then when we got there, we just had to confirm our details, get ready to provide your driver's license. So make sure you provide your driver's license and your address and your passport. So they do all those registrations.
And you also need a credit card as well, because they do a holding payment. So you do need your credit card too.
Yeah, and the staff then do all the paperwork, and then literally they send you out to the main car park. So this is at Atlanta and also in Miami, West Palm Beach. So they basically send you out to the car park. But what happens is you need to take a bus. You need to take a, what is it?
Shuttle bus.
A shuttle bus from the airport. This is at Atlanta and West Palm Beach and Miami. A shuttle bus to where the Enterprise and Alamo and locations are. Then once you get that shuttle bus, you then get your car, the keys and everything, and then you drive the car away.
Make sure you get on the right shuttle bus, because there are lots of different shuttle buses for different, so depending where you are, there's different shuttle buses for which company that you book your car through. So make sure that you get on the right shuttle bus. We didn't get on the wrong one, but it's just to remind you just to get on the right shuttle bus to take you to the right place to take your rental car and pick it up. So yeah.
And then dropping it off, so you can either prepay your petrol or fill your petrol up yourself. We made a point of just doing our own petrol, and when I say petrol, if you're in America, gas, fuel is what I'm talking about, because we said to one of our friends, we're going to the petrol station. She was like, what's the petrol station? Gas station. So fill up your gas before you take it back, because I think it works out financially better. And then when you drop it off, they just make sure the car's absolutely fine. They make sure any payment, just make sure that you check your car. And
did they check the car when you dropped it?
Yeah,
they didn't check it when I dropped it.
They kind of checked it in terms of it wasn't damaged from the outside. So I think that's the level of checking that they were checking.
Okay, all right. When I dropped it, the guy just literally just told me to leave the keys. He scanned something, was just like, okay, have a good day.
Yeah, and the staff are really good at Enterprise and Alamo. And when you get to pick up your car, you can change your mind while you're there. So you can sit in the cars, you can have a look at which one works for you, check the boot space, and then pick up the one that you actually prefer. And that makes it.
Make sure though that when you're booking, book in advance. Try and book your car as early as possible. And two, check if there's like a holiday coming up. So with us, it's Labor Day. When we were renting one of the cars, so loads of the cars had gone that we were interested in looking at. So just bear in mind that if you are booking when there's a holiday coming up here, make sure you book it extra in advance. Another thing just to mention as well is that we're driving across states, so we picked up from West Palm, but we're dropping the car in Miami, and they hadn't taken that into consideration. So not all cars can be dropped off at a different location. So they ended up having to change the car that we wanted. So we booked one car, but they've had to change it because we couldn't drive that car to Miami. They wanted it back in West Palm. So just take all of that into consideration when you are booking. Just try and book it as far in advance as you can. So one of the many places that we visited was the Atlanta Aquarium. So we were so lucky what we're trying to do is we try and book in advance. So we try and go on the websites of wherever we wanted to go. One tip is try and book at least a day in advance, because sometimes the ticket on the door is different. So we were going to go to Atlanta Aquarium on one day, but then when we looked online, we realized that actually on a Tuesday, it was only $20, whereas normally it's $49 each or something like that. So we changed our plans and obviously went on a Tuesday, because who's not getting a discount? So we booked for the Tuesday and it was only $20, and that offer was lasting until for the August time. I think it's over now, but always check their website. I'm sure they've got different offers on their sites. So we went on a Tuesday. So many animals in there. It's huge. It's absolutely gigantic, that place. Very busy as well. So just be prepared to see a lot of families, a lot of people on dates as well. I saw a lot of couples in there, which was cute.
Just pause. Sorry. The point is, you see a lot of couples, but actually they do special couples nights. They also do singles nights there. Apparently at the aquarium, they get the DJ out on every other Friday, and people just come and they just party at the aquarium. I mean, incredible. Yeah. Sorry, I cut you off. So we went on the Tuesday. It was amazing. It's huge in there. The kids absolutely loved it. There were so many animals. There was the sharks, hammerhead sharks, etc. But the best things for me was when we watched the dolphin show. So they have different shows on, different days, different times. So when you get there, scan QR code, and that will bring up what shows are on and what time they are. And so we did that when we got there, and then we were able to book the amount of seats that we wanted.
we were told to get to the show at least half an hour in advance because we had buggies, we had babies and things like that. So of course we got there about 40 minutes before the show started. Wrong. We should have got there at least an hour before the show started. The queue was already humongous. But what they usually say is get to the show at least half an hour in advance. Yeah, it's give or take. But what I would say is minimum half an hour in advance, get there. You won't be let in yet, but at least you can get in the queue. And the dolphin show was incredible. It's free, it's included in the package of what you've already bought, so it's not an extra cost like some places might do. And the show was phenomenal. The dolphins were amazing. We sat in the splash zone as well.
First 10 rows is the splash zone.
Yeah, and that we didn't realise, we just sat there because it was a good seat. But once we'd sat down was when they said, "Oh, you are now in a splash zone." But we didn't mind getting splashed. We got splashed. Very splashed.
Hard. We got splashed hard, but it was fun. It was really, really good.
Yeah. So that was the aquarium, and yeah, it's absolutely beautiful in there. If you're thinking about it, I'd say do it.
Oh, the only thing I would mention with the aquarium is there is like a dome at the aquarium where you can walk through and you see all the fishes and the animals above you. And also in that dome area, there's like I'd call it it's like an escalator, but it's flat. That is not the term for it. It's a moving walkway. That would be what it's called. A moving walkway that takes you underneath the dome, the aquarium dome. It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Lots of animals. And also there's another section, which is the Explorer's Cove, where you touch the stingrays and you can touch the fish. So kids get not just the visual of the animals and the fish behind glass, but actually a physical interaction with it. And it's beautiful. And the staff there are really knowledgeable and friendly and helpful and caring.
Yeah.
So
they
I
had
would
like
definitely...
live talking while we were there, while we were walking around. Someone was actually doing the live talking and explaining what the animals were and things like that. And so that was amazing.
Sorry, Alice, I have to wipe my face.
Cool. But we went with family.
Sorry, you're gonna have to do it again. Sorry, your phone just made a noise. It's hot out here. All right.
So one thing I'd say look out for is, and maybe Americans know this, but as British people, I don't think we're as conscious of it. So there was these ladies who were there, lovely ladies. I got very engaged chatting to them, but they're selling you stuff. So they're trying to sell you a holiday home, like a timeshare, that's it. So there were these ladies who I got chatting to, they were at the counter, we were chatting away, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you could win something." So I was just like, win? I enter for free? 100% I'm in. Only to then realise that I have to go get on a coach somewhere at 3 o'clock and go and listen to a story, listen to something in order to sign up and be to enter. And obviously when I get there, they're going to try to sell me timeshare stuff. This is probably something that they do all the time in America. Us within UK, we're not used to that. Luckily I was able to say, I didn't have time to go at 3 o'clock that day. But just be careful, because there are people who are also trying to sell other things that you might not be conscious of. So yeah, don't get bought into buying a timeshare, ultimately is what I'm saying.